Hey y'all, there's something special about Southern cooking. It's about family, love, and good food. One dish that embodies this spirit is the classic Southern meatloaf. This ain't your ordinary meatloaf. It's packed with flavor and history. It's a dish that brings folks together, creating memories around the dinner table. Growing up on the ranch, meatloaf was a regular at our table. My mama made the best meatloaf. It was juicy, flavorful, and always a crowd pleaser. The aroma alone was enough to make your mouth water. It's funny how food can transport you back to your childhood. That's the beauty of Southern cooking. It's about more than just the food. It's about the memories and traditions that are passed down through generations. So, gather your loved ones, and let's make some memories with this classic Southern meatloaf recipe. It's sure to become a family favorite. Now let's talk ingredients. Don't let the simplicity fool you. These ingredients come together to create a symphony of flavor. We're using ground beef because it's a classic. You can use a mix of ground beef and pork for a richer flavor. Next up, we got our binder. We're using milk-soaked breadcrumbs. This helps to keep our meatloaf nice and moist. Don't skip this step, y'all. Then, we're adding in some finely chopped onion and bell pepper. These add a subtle sweetness and depth of flavor. A little bit of garlic goes a long way. We're using 2 cloves minced to add a savory kick. And of course, we can't forget the seasonings. We're using a simple blend of salt, pepper, paprika, and dried herbs. Feel free to adjust the seasonings to your liking. All right, let's get our hands dirty. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In a large bowl, combine all of the ingredients. Use your hands to mix everything together until well combined. Don't overmix though. Now shape the mixture into a loaf and place it in a greased loaf pan. You want to make sure the loaf pan is big enough so that the meatloaf isn't spilling over the sides. We're almost there, y'all. Now for the finishing touch. In a small bowl, whisk together ketchup, brown sugar, and a splash of Worcestershire sauce. This is our glaze, and it's going to give our meatloaf a beautiful caramelized crust. Pour the glaze evenly over the top of the meatloaf. Pop that meatloaf in the oven and bake for about an hour and 15 minutes. You want to make sure the internal temperature reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Nobody wants a pink meatloaf. While the meatloaf is baking, let's talk sides. Mashed potatoes are a must-have with meatloaf. They're creamy, comforting, and soak up all that delicious gravy. Green beans are another Southern staple. You can cook them up with some bacon and onion for extra flavor. And don't forget the cornbread. No Southern meal is complete without a side of warm, buttery cornbread. All right, back to our meatloaf. Once it's done baking, let it rest for about 10 minutes before slicing and serving. This will allow the juices to redistribute, resulting in a more flavorful and tender meatloaf. Now let's talk sides. Meatloaf is a blank canvas, y'all. You can pair it with just about anything. But if you want to keep it classic Southern, I've got some ideas for you. First up, mashed potatoes. Creamy, dreamy mashed potatoes are the perfect accompaniment to a hearty meatloaf. Next, we got collard greens. Slow cooked with a ham hock, collard greens add a touch of Southern charm to any meal. And of course, we can't forget the mac and cheese. Baked until golden brown and bubbly, mac and cheese is always a crowd pleaser. These are just a few ideas to get you started. Feel free to get creative and experiment with your favorite Southern sides. The possibilities are endless. Don't you dare throw away those leftovers. Meatloaf is even better the next day. You can enjoy it cold in a sandwich with your favorite toppings. Or crumble it up and use it as a filling for tacos, quesadillas, or even stuffed peppers. Another great way to use up leftover meatloaf is in a classic Southern casserole. Simply crumble the meatloaf into a greased baking dish, top with mashed potatoes, and bake until heated through. Sprinkle some shredded cheddar cheese on top for an extra touch of deliciousness. See y'all? Leftover meatloaf is a gift that keeps on giving. Get creative and have fun with it. You might even discover your new favorite way to enjoy this Southern comfort food. Meatloaf is more than just a dish in the South. It's a tradition that's been passed down through generations. I remember my Meemaw's meatloaf. She made it every Sunday without fail. The smell of it baking in the oven always meant that family was coming together. We'd gather around her big dining room table, sharing stories and laughter. Those are the memories that I cherish most. Food has a way of bringing people together. It creates a sense of warmth and connection that's hard to find anywhere else. So the next time you make meatloaf, remember that you're not just making a meal. You're creating memories that will last a lifetime. Pass down the tradition to your children and grandchildren. Let them experience the joy of Southern cooking and the love that goes into every bite. Southern comfort food is more than just a meal. It's a celebration of life, family, and tradition. It's about slowing down, savoring the flavors, and appreciating the company of loved ones. Meatloaf embodies all of these things and more. It's a dish that brings people together, creating a sense of warmth and belonging. So gather your loved ones, put on your aprons, and let's make some memories in the kitchen. Because in the South, food is love, and meatloaf is one of the most loving dishes of all. Go on, y'all. Give this recipe a try. And don't forget to share it with your family and friends. Happy cooking!